Hello and welcome to a video with me, Raindell. Today we're taking another shot at the Ahlim team. Ahlim, Ravis, and Krace this time. And we're gonna go Tidus hunting. There are a lot of light teams with Yuna right now, but there's also quite a bit of water teams around. So let's see if our lightning MRs are good enough to counter them and just wreck those water teams. And our battle plan is using Ahlim as a dual gunner. So she has AoE attacks, she'll have a lot of defense penetration with firing stance, and then hopefully we can get her to use Revitalize so she has enough AP to keep attacking. Then Ravis is there to bring Immortal Spirit, so she can tank at least a couple hits. If she gets a second turn to buff, it's going to be Shadow Cast for more evasion, and then we want her to either charm the enemy team with Steel Heart or stun them with Blade Bash, so that's all she's going to have in terms of offensive move. Finally, Krace, in her first turn, we want her to use Nivlu's TMR, the Inherited Bewitching Art, to give evasion to everyone on our team. Then if she gets another turn to buff, she's going to use Aimed Fire or Target Share, and then she's there as a CC source for the enemy team. So she has arm shot from the Gunner and Sniper jobs, and then also Paralyzing Trap from her sniper job. So she's really there to try to keep our team alive a bit longer, not to do damage by herself. So let's take a look at the battles. Alright, so for our first battle, we're fighting W.Viktora, Tidus, and Ildyra. Tidus is at a low level for this first battle. I expect EX Tidus to have a lot more accuracy and thus an easier time hitting us altogether. But since it's our first battle and we're still fine-tuning our early turns, I think it's fine to try that. So we begin with Firing Stance, which gives us more defense penetration on Ahlim, and that's pretty good because without that she will have difficulty hitting high defense targets such as Tidus with a lot of his buffs on. So it's pretty important for our formation. Then Krace using the Inherited Bewitching Art is also very important because that's the main way we get our evasion buff. The previous time we were running this team, we had Shadow Lynx to provide us with an evasion buff on all our team. But this time we're not running her, so we kind of need this. And then that's a weak spot because Ravis actually uses her attack several times. I prefer if she would not do that because now she doesn't have bells. So definitely one weak spot that we need to solve here. So stun shot, their enemy W.Viktora is stunned, and so far Ravis is not dodging much. So that's not great. She does tank quite a few hits though, but being disabled definitely doesn't help us. We inflict a ton of status effects back, which is what our team is meant to do, and then Ahlim just deletes half the enemy team because that's what she's built to do. So far, the battle went well, but we have an issue of Ahlim not using Revitalize. Alright, so we're slowly moving up, and this time we're fighting a 99 Tidus, along with Ildyra and Glaciela. Glaciela is a character I'm a little bit more wary about in this team, because she has a guaranteed hit ability. So she is going to be able to take out some of our members that should be able to dodge most other attacks. So that's definitely a scary thing. But hopefully she's going to be hitting Ravis, who moves forward first, and thus she'll just proc her courage instead of outright killing her. And then Ildyra is always a threat because her Theorem can screw up our early turns by making somebody close in too quickly on our team. That's definitely something we want to avoid. So here, our team did not use... our team did not use the Nivlu's TMR, so we don't have any evasion up boosts. We do get, though, to charm the enemy Glaciela and then completely screw up their own formation. So overall, this is definitely going to be a win, thanks to Ravis's very charming ways, if we put it this way. And also, Glaciela used bells, so she's kind of the strongest member of the enemy team, as you can tell. She's just taking a ton of turns while being charmed, and actually managed to take her entire charm duration before being disabled by Grace, and then finished off. Yeah, a very clean and very entertaining match. Let's get another. Alright, so this time we're fighting a baby EX Mon. So he's just at 102, but at least he's EX'd. And the other guys are at 99 as well. Again, Glaciela has guaranteed hit abilities, so she could be a pretty big threat depending on what happens. But let's let the fight play out and see how it goes. And again, if we can get a charm on Glaciela in her early turns, that will definitely help us in our battle plan. But we'll have to wait and see. And then also, Grace is in range to hit the enemy team too early. So that means we're not getting our evasion buff. So that could be a pretty big deal for us. So we have Revis in front, but now Glaciela will probably get to kill our entire team. So I might have to reduce the range on Grace because the way she behaves right now it definitely doesn't play to our advantage. So Javelin Claw takes out Grace, so we lose one of our sources of CC. And then at that point, Dispel Spread misses everybody. That's good, because we don't get our stuff dispelled. And stunning Glaciela is also a pretty big deal, because she has a lot of AoE attacks, and thus could be trouble. Ahlim just one-shots 2 people, so way to go, girl. And then Revis is there, deals a ton of damage as well, and we just end up finishing the enemy team. So, okay, we lost 1 person, but overall, pretty clean fight again. Alright, so we're slowly climbing up the ranks of Tidus. This one's 114, and then they have an Agrias, which I'm not a big fan of, because with her Glaciela Blade, she has quite a bit of accuracy. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, we get to actually fight them and not get confused too early, but it might not go as well as we want it to. And I love fighting Ildyra because I find that she has a pretty low accuracy, but the fact that she can heal can be a big deal because our team doesn't have the highest damage. We're not a bunch of maxed out 120 URs, right? So we don't one-shot all the time. So it can be a big issue when she can heal more than we can deal damage. So we'll see how it goes. We get our ideal start where every one of our team members managed to cast our buffs, but the enemy team has cheer on everyone, so that can be a bit scary. So first miss, that's very good for us. Then Agrias uses Taunting Blade, which means she won't have enough AP for anything else right now, and I'm actually very happy with this outcome. I am not happy though that Ahlim targeted her, and she used a lot of her AP right there because she doesn't have currently bells on. So we charm Tidus, pretty cool move, and then we have a disabled Agrias, so the status effects are definitely on our side. Ildyra misses everyone instead of healing, so that's also pretty good. But at that point, Ahlim's out of AP, so we're not going to see a lot of very good abilities there. Except for the fact that Tidus is carrying us. He's at 114, he's the strongest member of the enemy team, so having him on our side is definitely a boon here. So he helps us finish Agrias, and at that point, Ahlim has a bit more AP, so she might be able to do some decent damage on Tidus. Yep, half her HP. Now he's no longer stunned, but can he take all 3 of our guys down? That's 1. Now, is he gonna get a second one? He has a lot of AP, so yeah, he kills Grace, but we should be able to finish him off with Ahlim. So that was a harder fight, but we still managed to win it in the end. Alright, we found one. They do exist. Level 120 Tidus. So let's fight them and see how it goes. And their team seems pretty scary. They have maxed out vision cards on everybody, but they don't have Sutekidane on Tidus. They're running something else. So that means he doesn't have the extra accuracy he would gain from it. So that's definitely comforting for me, because with that, he would probably one-shot our team pretty easily. and that's something we want to avoid. Now, Glaciela did move forward, so that means Krace might not use her inherited bewitching art, and that's not good for us. I'm still happy with a paralysis, but it would have been better, I think, to have our evasion buff for everybody. And especially since the paralysis does not proc on first turn. So that's definitely not good. Taunting Blade misses Revi's, which is a positive thing, and now we're beginning to kill Glaciela. Barrier Break Arrow, so we're removing the barrier from her, which is also pretty good, and then charming her. And Revi's really loves using those charm abilities. It's something she does frequently, and honestly, it's a pretty high impact move when we don't immediately dispel it because we're dumb. So yeah, that was a bit sad. Now Glaciela is no longer paralyzed, so I don't give us a lot of chance here. The main thing that puts us in trouble is the fact that Ahlim did not get to use bells, so she ran out of AP very early, and also the enemy team screwed up our early turns by moving forward with Glaciela, so we did not get our evasion buff on anyone. Still, Ahlim's trying her hardest here to fight them, so let's see if she can do it. One hit from Tidus will take her out, but she dodged a couple hits in a row. But here, the physical barrier really plays a huge role in helping him survive. And oh, such a low amount of HP left for him. But for some reason, he goes for Haste Gas. That must mean that he didn't have a good chance to hit, I think. So he misses again, but got to a crystal. Now that's bad, because crystals will heal him for a very high amount of HP, and that allowed him to survive another hit, grab another crystal, so in the end, he just might win because of all those heals that he got. Nope, Ahlim wins. She 1v1 at level 99, a 120 Tidus. Go figure. Alright, so you've seen the team in action. I'll just quickly go over the build. If you guys want to try something similar, that's the setup. Here are the abilities on off for Ahlim. She has basically everything up. Dual gunner right here. And then her stats are as follow. I'm going quickly. You guys can pause and take screenshots if that is what you want. For Revi's, her only attack ability is Blade Bash, because if she's far from an enemy, I really want her to use Steel Heart. As you've seen, it's a pretty big impact move. And then Blade Soul for more evasion. And that's her overall stats here. And finally, Krace. I'm wondering if I should turn off her paralyzing trap, but so far I did not. So that's what the on-off abilities are. And I might turn off paralyzing trap because while it is a TP skill, the chances of paralyzing are low, and then the chances of paralyzing proccing during an enemy turn are not guaranteed. So I'm not that sure about it. But again, here are the stats. Alright, what do we see today? Well, our team performed pretty well, I would say. Obviously, I'm not fighting at the top. Again, I don't want to spend too many pot reset right now to try to get to super high ranks. I'm just having fun figuring out new teams. I was surprised by how well this performed even against 120. I thought we might have problems with our evasion because EX units have more accuracy, but overall it went pretty well. And then the CC that Krace and Revi's brought were pretty solid as well. So overall, very fun team, and I want to use it more. I want to try to see if I can make something like this work against Yuna as well. But today was about hunting water teams, and definitely our setup works. So if you guys enjoy those MR teams, let me know. They're the ones I love making the most, I think. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We'll make it more likely that you see my content in the future. And then thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.